Yo, what's going on? This is the Raiders Raw Report with Mitchell Benz, not to be confused with Mitchell Renz or Wi-Fi Weenie. Now, a quick public announcement to those that are watching these videos. Most of you like them, most of you, or I should say, some of you don't, and that's fine. It's not for everybody. What I'm doing here is I just want to bring facts. I don't want to give you clickbait. I don't want to give you videos telling you, welcome to the Raider Nation, making it sound like somebody's just been signed or something, and then you click on it, and it's 5 best guys I think the Raiders should sign today. 5 best guys I think the Raiders should bring in, and all these fucking rumors and all these lies, okay? If you remember, before the draft, months before the draft, even after the season, but preferably before the draft, about a month or a month and a half or even weeks, all these podcasters, Mitchell Renz, Wi-Fi Weenie, and a couple of other guys, I won't say their names, they were reporting, oh, the Raiders are going to move up. They're going to do this. They need another quarterback. They're going to draft another quarterback. That's the main priority. This and that, this and that. Aiden O'Connell's not the starter. Minshew might be the starter, but he's not going to be the starter. We're going to go do this. We're going to go do that. We need to do this. Antonio Pierce doesn't want Aiden O'Connell as his starter. He wants Jaden Daniels, etc., etc., etc. All this bull, right? And the whole time, all these people are totally reporting the opposite of what's really going on. What was really going on is in the draft, if Jaden Daniels, they couldn't get him without giving up 3 years worth of draft picks, because that's what it was going to cost. If they couldn't get him without doing that, or get a Drake May, or even get Penix at 13, they were not going to draft a quarterback, period. It wasn't even on their board. Okay, guys like me and other guys were saying, fuck it, let's get Rattler in the 5th. Upon doing their background and everything, they didn't want to touch the guy. Okay, that's just facts. Now, a lot of these podcasters, some of them do their due diligence and they look into stuff and things like that. But a lot of them report what they want. They report what they want, who they think the starter should be, who they think they should draft, and they run with it, and then they get the Raider Nation believing it because they got these big old podcasts, these big old shows with hundreds of thousands of subscribers, or 50 or 60,000 subscribers, so people think that they're legit. People think that they know what they're talking about, or maybe they're just interesting. But for me, a real, legit Raider fan, I want facts. I don't want bullshit. I don't want you clickbaiting me. I don't want you making me click on it because I think it's one thing and then you give me some other shit that has nothing to do with it. To me, that's not what I'm here for. I'm a real Raider fan. I do not go for that bullshit. I don't want it. I don't want nothing to deal with it. And that's the reason why I started doing this. I didn't start this channel to start shitting on everybody else, but I had to lay the foundation of how we're going to come. We're coming raw. It's the Raiders Raw Report, straight in your face, old school style, no gimmicks needed, no bullshit allowed. Bottom line. With that, let's get into this. Welcome to the Raiders Raw Report. I'm Mitchell Benz, and we're going to get into this. And what I want to talk to you about is the man on the screen right here is the most accurate reporter of the Raiders. If you don't know who he is, it's Hondo Carpenter. This guy reports exactly what the team is telling him in terms of the head coach, the general manager, the owner, the players, the other head coaches, etc., etc. He will tell you exactly what it is. When it comes to players, he won't out the players and what this player told him and that player told him, but he will tell you, players told me this, players told me that. People listen to him and they think he's bullying, that he's bullshitting people, right? This guy, everything he said is come to pass, and everything he talks about is 100% on the spot. This guy covers the team. He travels with the team. He's at the facility with the team. He's in meetings. He's doing all these things. He has personal relationships with Antonio Pierce, now with Tom Telesco, with other coaches, with players, with Mark Davis, etc., etc. So the reason I'm bringing him into this episode is because I want to show you everything he's been reporting for months. And what do Wi-Fi Weenie and Mitchell Renz and these other guys do? They go the opposite way. They make up their own stories. When for months Antonio Pierce has said, Aiden's our guy. Aiden has earned the spot to start and compete for the starting spot. He's the top guy right now. But people didn't pay attention to that. Oh no, and they don't even want to fucking pay attention to what AP said. But yet AP's our guy, AP. But you don't want to hear anything he's fucking talking about. You don't want to hear the fact that Antonio Pierce believes that Aiden O'Connell's the guy. And not because he couldn't draft another guy or because they couldn't move up. He's shown nothing but confidence in the guy because he knows what the guy's capable of and what the guy showed him going down the stretch. And they don't have enough game, tape, or gameplay from him to say he's not the guy. All you guys want to cross him out and X him out because Minshew's in town. Don't get me wrong, Minshew's a hell of a player. Could he be the starter? Yes. Of course, because Minshew's a really good player. But this is how much confidence I got in Aiden O'Connell. If AP's got confidence in him, why shouldn't I when AP knows football a lot better than I do? He knows people a lot better than I do that are on that team. But you guys don't want to hear it. You guys don't want to listen to it. So what I'm going to do is play you some snippets of what Hondo Carpenter, the Sports Illustrated beat writer for the Raiders, has been saying and what he said the other day to recap, because he's been telling people this, but nobody wants to listen. And this is going to be some stuff on Mark Davis, Antonio Pierce, O'Connell, and some other stuff. So without further ado, let's get into it. Raiders Report. Let's see what Hondo's talking about so we can put all these other clickbaiters to rest and stop watching these fake motherfuckers that don't really know what they're talking about. And if they do, they don't want to tell you. They want to run with their own fucking narrative. We ain't doing that shit here. We're keeping it straightforward. We're keeping it a buck. We're keeping it a C-note, a Billy Goat, a Hundo.
AP understands I'm asking a brand new rookie quarterback to change a lot. I'm putting a ton on his plate. He gets it. He understands it.
He's talking about Aiden O'Connell going into the game against the Vikings where he didn't look too well. Teams had tape already, so they could adjust.
He understands it. And he goes, we're going to let our defense win the game. So they come out, and I think it was the Minnesota game, and they had an abysmal offensive performance. Now, anyone who watched that game would totally agree it was not just a bad game by Aiden O'Connell. It was a bad game by everybody.
That's facts.
There were some key veterans that made some very key mistakes. So if you want to put all of that loss on Aiden O'Connell, I don't think you're being fair. You certainly can give him a chunk of it. He's the quarterback.
The thing about Hondo Carpenter is he calls it down the middle. He's not a fan. He's not a fan of the Raiders. He's a beat writer. He covers them for Sports Illustrated. He doesn't come from a biased opinion. He tells you exactly how it is, how he sees it, everything he's hearing and everything he knows. That's why I love this guy. Unlike these other mother flying sock suckers.
But AP's philosophy is, listen, don't have turnovers. Don't cost us. Let our defense keep it in the game, and then we'll get it. You know, you guys will be in a position, get a score.
See, when they were watching that game, when we were watching the game, what was everybody saying? Why isn't he throwing the ball? Why isn't he doing this? Why isn't he? He was told not to lose the game. Aiden O'Connell was told to play a certain way, and he was doing what Antonio Pierce asked him to do. Antonio Pierce leaned on the defense heavily, and it didn't work that day. Doesn't mean he's a bad coach. It just didn't work that day. Let's keep moving.
They're just trying to hold it together. Now, fans wanted to say, oh, Aiden sucks, Aiden sucks, Aiden sucks. Okay, they're doing what AP wanted. So if you wanted AP to have the job and you're saying that Aiden sucks, you're saying AP sucked and you shouldn't have rooted for him.
That's the bottom line. Tell me that ain't the truth. It's what everybody's been saying other than these podcasters that make up their own narrative and their own fucking stories. Aiden O'Connell When he came in, when AP made him the starter, he did everything Antonio Pierce asked him to do, whether they won or lost. That is one of the main reasons why Antonio Pierce believes in Aiden O'Connell, because he's doing what he asked him to do and not do.
Right? So they're coming down the stretch. And he tells Hardigree, listen, I don't want you taking risks. We're going to let the defense keep us in the game. They're not going to score on us. And then we're going to capitalize with our offense and punch it in. Aiden can make throws. We know that. They trusted him to make throws. But they didn't have an expansive enough to go out and do everything that they wanted to do. So they finished the season 3-1 against the AFC West. Last 4 games, Aiden throws 8 touchdowns, no interceptions. Last 5 games, 9 touchdowns, 1 interception. Those last 5 games, he did what he asked him to do.
Did you hear that? Now, this isn't speculation. This isn't making up your own stories. This is what he knows because he sat in these meetings. He talked to the coaches. He was there. Everything this guy is saying is 100% fact. He's the Sports Illustrated beat writer for the Raiders, right? Did you hear what he said? Everything he said about O'Connell, everything he said about Antonio Pierce and Bo Hardigree. AP believes in Aiden O'Connell because Aiden O'Connell can get it done and do what he asks him to do. So all you guys out there that were saying Aiden sucks, he's not the quarterback, he's not this, we need to draft one, we're going to draft one, I don't believe in him, I hope Minshew beats him out and all that. Say what you want. If you're rolling with Antonio Pierce, why are you talking about everything else except what Antonio Pierce has told you? He's continued to say it over and over.
But we're going to throw smart. Don't throw interceptions. So there were times you'd see some guys open on film. Aiden should have made that throw. Yep, that's true. But I had people in the organization saying to me, but he was told, don't take that risk. We don't have to take the risk. Now, you have to understand something. The Raiders' mentality isn't just win sexy. It's just win. And coming down that stretch, they won. Again, last 5 games, he did exactly what he was asked. 9 touchdowns, 1 interception. Everything that AP asked him to do. AP called him his BFF. Talked about how much he loved him. Okay? Now, right after the season, I reported to you that Jimmy was going to be gone, and that didn't take a donkey brain at midnight in an old Tim barn to figure out, and that Brian was going to be gone. It was no secret. Was told that, we knew it, and I reported it right after the season.
For those who don't know, Brian Hoyer is a really good friend to Hondo Carpenter. So when Hondo Carpenter reported that Brian Hoyer would be gone after the season and Garoppolo, he wasn't being biased, right? Because that's his friend. Oh no, he's going to remain. He reported it exactly of what he knew and what they told him was going to happen. That's why I love Carpenter. That's why I love Hondo Carpenter. All you other guys watching the Raiders Report and Wi-Fi Weenie and all these other guys, you're getting straight bullshit. Most of the time, you're getting what they want to tell you, the shit that they're making up, their wish list. That's it. Let's keep rolling with Hondo because he's got some more gems coming.
Was told that, we knew it, and I reported it right after the season. I also told you the expectation at that point was go sign a veteran and draft a rookie. Hold on here and stay with me for a while. I'm not trying to bore you, but if you want the details of what happened, it just takes a while to go through it all. So then they begin interviews. And there are people who say that Mark Davis asked the candidates, will you move up to get a quarterback? As if he was demanding that.
You remember these podcasters saying that? Mark Davis wants them to move up and get a quarterback. He's all for it. He wants it. Mark Davis is all in. That was a lie. It was bull. It was bull crap. It was not true. But Mitchell Renz, Wi-Fi Willie, and other guys reporting the same stuff, saying that that's what Mark Davis wanted. Let Hondo Carpenter tell you exactly what went down with that and exactly how it was.
That Mark Davis asked the candidates, will you move up to get a quarterback? As if he was demanding that. That makes Mark Davis look like a ridiculous owner. And I'm going to tell you right now, Mark Davis did not, and this was reported out there, and if you're honest, you've heard it. Oh, Champ Kelly didn't get the job because he told Mark Davis, I won't move up to get a quarterback. That was absolutely untrue. Mark Davis did not make it a prerequisite to get this job that you're going to go draft a quarterback. Now, he certainly did his due diligence. Hey, what does it look like to move up in a draft? Is that something you're ever open to? He absolutely did that because he's a good owner. But a lot of people painted Mark at that time in a light that wasn't fair. If they'd have walked in and told Mark, we want to move up to number one and get whomever, or we want to trade X, Y, and Z to go get this guy, and we believe this is what we have to do. Mark Davis is a smart owner. He knows what he doesn't know. And if you want to know the truth, show me another owner that put $100 million in John's pocket, gave him a 10-year deal. Don't you remember how that shocked the football world? Why? Because he knew, I want stability for my franchise. You may question sometimes his decisions, and that's fine, and he doesn't mind that. I've questioned some things. That's my job. But I will stand and defend the man when people accuse him of things that are untruthful. Mark Davis is a lot. He's not disingenuous, and he's not a moron. His dad, he is a 10 times better businessman than his father. And I hold Al Davis in reverence. The greatest general manager to ever lead any professional sports team in any sport.
That's right, all you fucking haters. Get that shit straight. Al Davis is one of the greatest sports minds, the greatest football mind that ever lived, and he changed the whole game. Don't ever forget it.
In any sport. He fundamentally changed professional athletics around the world. Everybody has a weakness. None of us are the perfect 10 other than my wife. And Al Davis was exceptional. Not a great businessman, but an exceptional general manager, coach, and football brain. But his father wasn't him as a businessman either. So all of a sudden now fans are being, woo, Mark's demanding we go get a quarterback. Yeah, yeah. True. He was willing to do it. He wasn't against it. It was foolishness. Now, I, honest to God, do not know anyone who reported that. And that was fair. He did. I reported that. But I talked to people that were interviewed, and I can tell you, Mark did not make that demand. Period. Now, there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. When I say hoo-hoo, I'm not making fun of the fans, because if you're told something, I have a friend who grew up in a broken home, and he tells a story about his dad would call and say, hey, I'm going to be there on this date and come spend the day with you. And he'd go out in the morning, wake up early, get dressed, and sit on the front porch. And his dad never showed up. Was it his fault for being excited? No. And I don't blame Raider fans for getting excited. Okay, you think, all right, we're going to go do this. But here was the problem. AP told you the whole time, I believe in Aiden. I believe in him. Somebody asked him, do you think Aiden can win in this league? And he said he just did. Now, I'm going to share a couple things with you about Antonio Pierce. And I consider him a friend. Okay, I respect him and I like him. If the time ever comes that I need to be critical, I will. I have no problem with that whatsoever. I have a job to do, and I'll do it. And he'll do his. And guess what? We may have a great relationship, but he doesn't give a flying rat's rear end what I think. And he shouldn't. Well, I'm going to tell you one of the reasons why I admire him, not just as a football coach, but as a man. When Antonio Pierce looks you in the eye and he tells you something, you don't need him to sign anything. He's a man of integrity. His word means something. He's not going to lie to Raider Nation. And I've tried to tell you this multiple times. No. He's just trying to throw people off. He doesn't want to ruin Aiden's confidence. He doesn't give a rat's rear end. If you need him to pump up your confidence, then you don't belong on the Raiders.
If you remember when this was going on, when people were reporting, these podcasters, right, were reporting, oh, Antonio Pierce just doesn't want to shake Aiden's confidence up. He really doesn't believe in him. He doesn't see him as the quarterback of the future. We need to draft somebody. There's no way we can win in this league with Aiden O'Connell leading the way, etc., etc. Bullshit, bull fucking shit. Antonio Pierce has been telling us since he got the job and he saw Aiden O'Connell play quarterback. He has been telling us, and Hondo Carpenter just told you, the kind of man that Antonio Pierce is. He's a man of integrity. He's not going to lie to the Raider Nation. He's a straight shooter. And if people don't know that by now, I don't know what the fuck to tell you. So all these podcasters that didn't want to listen to Antonio Pierce when he's telling you, and he's telling you, and he's telling you, but you still want to report your own stuff. We're moving up. We're doing this. We're drafting this guy. We're drafting that guy. After certain quarterbacks were gone, they were not drafting any quarterback in the draft, period. After I could play you this, but the video is getting a little bit long. If you want to see the whole video, go to Hondo Carpenter's channel, Hondo Carpenter Raiders. The dude has tons of good shit. It's all actual facts, okay? Because he's an insider. Not like these other guys that want to be and act like they are. They're just fucking clickbaiters, okay? That's why I went in on them as hard as I did, because you guys are being misled. You guys are being misled, and you think the team wants to do what they're saying that they're going to do, and then when they don't do it, you get mad. You understand? So Antonio Pierce has told everybody that Aiden O'Connell, it's his job to lose. That Aiden O'Connell deserves a shot at the starting job, and someone has to come in and beat him out. Everybody still kept on with the story. No, we're drafting somebody, we're moving up, we're getting Daniels, we're going. It was bull. Once the Commanders told the Raiders they're not moving out of number 2 unless they give them 3 years worth of fucking picks, the Raiders were not going to do that. They're not that stupid. Jaden Daniels is not worth 20 fucking picks, 21 picks. No player is, okay? And you'll see that as this season comes up. And I've been telling you guys, Aiden O'Connell's the man. He's going to be the man. Minshew is going to have to be lights out in training camp and in preseason to beat out Aiden O'Connell, because Aiden O'Connell's been working his ass off. The dude's working on his pocket presence, his mobility, everything. They've known that AOC, how they like to call him, but I call him the con man. They've known that the con man can make throws down the field. Antonio Pierce has told Hondo Carpenter and others in the vicinity and in the goddamn facility that they know Aiden can make all the throws. But he didn't want Aiden to have too much pressure coming down the stretch by having to do that. So just keep it simple. Let's run the ball, play defense, not put too much on his plate, and let's see where we go. Okay? So I just wanted to bring that to you, just so you guys can see just on the Aiden O'Connell get down and how he played going down the stretch, what Antonio Pierce feels about him, because clearly most people are not listening. You're too busy listening to Mitchell Rans with the Raiders Report or Wi-Fi Weenie, but you guys won't listen to guys like Hondo Carpenter that are there in the building, talking to the coaches, talking to the players, talking to the owner, the general manager. and reporting to us? Come on, bro. What's wrong with you guys? But you want to get on me for calling out these weenie ass podcasters. We're real fucking Raiders here. I'm going to bring it to you raw and uncut, straight in your face, like the Raider Nation would do, and like the Raider Nation would like people like me to do. Take it for what it's worth. Make up your own stories like they do and run with it. This is the truth. I'm going to cut this video right here because I got other ones to do. You want to know more about that situation? Go in. But that is the motherfucking deal. That is why after certain quarterbacks were gone in that draft, they were not going to pick nobody. Because Antonio Pierce believes in the con man, Aiden O'Connell. Mitchell Rands and Wi-Fi Weenie, they like to call him AOC. He's not a fucking politician. He's a football player. And what happened to them old school hardcore Raider nicknames? The Snake, the Ghost, the Assassin, right? Come on, just to name a few. The con man is what Aiden O'Connell is, and I wouldn't be surprised, like I've been telling you, if he is the starter on our first week of the NFL regular season. You guys can be mad about it. I've been listening to our head coach. I've been paying attention. You guys obviously think that Antonio Pierce is some soft-ass dude that can't speak his mind and speak the truth, and you guys been thinking he's just beating around the bush and he's this and he's that. Antonio Pierce is a dude from Compton, California, a Raider through and through, grew up loving the Raiders, went to school, played with that toughness, played with that edge in college, was undrafted, played with the edge when he signed his contract with the Redskins, made it to the Giants, won a Super Bowl. The dude played for so many years in the NFL, made a name for himself as a tough, hard-nosed player. And you guys think this dude's lying? Hey, what do you think? You make up your own fucking mind. Don't let these podcasters make up your mind for you. Think for yourself. You don't like what I'm saying? You ain't got to. But I'm keeping it a buck, a C-note, a hundo, a billy goat. That's how we do it on the Raiders Rawport. I'll be back at you with another video soon. Thank you for watching, liking, sharing, subscribing. To those that don't like what I'm doing, eat a you-know-what. To those that do, let's keep this shit cracking, moving forward. It's the Raider Nation. We ain't fucking with that other bullshit. Till we see you next time, we out.